Large trucks are likely to lose speed when A. Driving up long or steep hills. B. Driving in long, gradual curves. C. Driving down long, gradual hills. A. Driving up long or steep hills. Because large trucks require more time to accelerate than smaller vehicles, trucks can lose speed driving up long or steep hills. Be cautious when driving behind a large truck and be sure to give the vehicle additional space, especially when driving on an incline. This road sign means A. Flagger ahead. B. Turn left at the intersection. C. Last turn before a toll road. A. Flagger ahead. Orange is the standard color for work zone activity. If you see orange signs, cones, or barrels while driving, stay alert and be prepared for unexpected driving conditions. This sign alerts drivers to an upcoming flagger whose directions should be obeyed by all drivers. If you are getting tired while driving, you should A. Stop and either get rest or change drivers. B. Drink something with caffeine. C. Open a window. A. Stop and either get rest or change drivers. To avoid the dangers of fatigued driving, take breaks every hour or so during a long trip. If possible, share driving responsibilities with another person so you can each sleep while the other person drives. You want to make a right turn at the corner. A pedestrian with a guide dog is at the corner ready to cross the street in front of you. Before making your right turn, you should A. Turn off your engine until the person crosses the street. B. Tell the pedestrian when to cross the street. C. Wait until the person crosses the street. C. Wait until the person crosses the street. Pedestrians using guide dogs or white canes, with or without a red tip, must be given the right of way at all times.
Want to ace your DMV test? Click on the link below and get your guaranteed cheat sheet.
This sign means A. One-way traffic. B. Intersection ahead. C. Merging traffic from the right. C. Merging traffic from the right. Warning signs are usually yellow with black markings. They alert you to conditions that are immediately ahead. This sign tells drivers to prepare to allow traffic to safely merge from the right. Motorcycles on the road? A. Are vehicles with the same rights and responsibilities as larger motor vehicles. B. Do not follow specific rules of the road. C. Must always yield the right of way to larger motor vehicles. A. Are vehicles with the same rights and responsibilities as larger motor vehicles. Motorcycles on the road are vehicles with the same rights and responsibilities as larger motor vehicles. Other motorists should respect the rights of motorcyclists. This sign means A. Trucks entering. B. Truck exit only. C. Steep downgrade ahead. C. Steep downgrade ahead. This sign warns that a steep downgrade is ahead on the road. Drivers should check their brakes. A broken yellow line beside a solid yellow line indicates that A. Passing is permitted from the lane next to the solid yellow line. B. Passing is not permitted from either direction. C. Passing is permitted from the lane next to the broken yellow line. C. Passing is permitted from the lane next to the broken yellow line. A broken yellow line alongside a solid yellow line means that traffic in the lane next to the broken line may cross the line to pass, while traffic in the lane next to the solid line may not. When you are facing a green light and there are pedestrians in the intersection. A. You must yield the right of way to pedestrians. B. You have the right of way over pedestrians. C. Pedestrians must wait for you to cross. A. You must yield the right of way to pedestrians. When facing a green light, you must yield to pedestrians and vehicles already in the intersection. Drivers must yield to pedestrians when turning on a steady green signal. To avoid traction loss on wet roads, you should A. Make abrupt turns. B. Apply the brakes firmly. C. Slow down. C. Slow down. To prevent hydroplaning, lower your speed in response to wet roads and keep your tires in good condition. If you detect a loss of control, take your foot off the gas, do not apply the brakes, maintain the direction of the vehicle, and allow the vehicle to slow to a manageable speed. A steady yellow traffic signal light is a warning that the light is about to change to red. If you are already within the intersection when a green light changes to yellow, you should A. Stop. B. Continue moving and clear the intersection safely. C. Increase your speed so as not to cause an accident. B. Continue moving and clear the intersection safely. If you are already within an intersection when the traffic light turns yellow, you should clear the intersection as quickly as possible. You must show proof of insurance to law enforcement. A. Only if you are involved in a collision. B. If you are involved in a collision or stopped for a citation. C. Only if you are stopped and cited. B. If you are involved in a collision or stopped for a citation. You must have evidence of financial responsibility, such as proof of insurance, with you whenever you drive. You must always show proof of insurance and your license to an officer upon request after a traffic stop or collision. You should yield to a pedestrian. A. Only if they are in a crosswalk. B. At all times, even if the pedestrian is not obeying traffic laws. C. Only if the traffic lights are in the pedestrian's favor. B. At all times, even if the pedestrian is not obeying traffic laws. Always be aware of pedestrians near your vehicle. You must do everything you can to prevent striking a pedestrian, regardless of the circumstances. When passing another car, you have enough space to return to the driving lane. A. If the other driver signals for you to re-enter the lane. B. If you look over your shoulder and see the passed car behind you. C. If you can see both of the passed vehicle's headlights in your rearview mirror. C. If you can see both of the passed vehicle's headlights in your rearview mirror. Before you return to the driving lane when completing a pass, be sure there is a safe gap between your vehicle and the passed vehicle. When you can see both headlights of the vehicle in your rearview mirror, it is safe to return to the driving lane. A large truck is ahead of you and is turning right onto a street with 2 lanes in each direction. The truck A. may complete its turn in either of the 2 lanes. B. may have to swing wide to complete the right turn. C. Must stay in the right lane at all times while turning. B. May have to swing wide to complete the right turn. When a vehicle makes a turn, the rear wheels follow a shorter path than the front wheels. The longer the vehicle, the bigger the difference between the paths of the front and rear wheels. Therefore, long trucks often have to swing wide to complete a right turn. The center of the roadway is marked with one solid yellow line and one broken yellow line. If the broken yellow line is directly next to your traffic lane, it means A. You are not allowed to pass in this area. B. You are in a passing zone and it is safe for you to pass other vehicles on the left if no oncoming traffic is present. C. You are only allowed to make right turns in this area. B. You are in a passing zone and it is safe for you to pass other vehicles on the left if no oncoming traffic is present. When there is a solid yellow line and a broken yellow line in the center of the road, passing is permitted from the side of the road next to the broken line. This white sign means A. The railroad crossing is controlled. Continue at your regular speed. B. Look, listen, and prepare to stop at the crossing if necessary. C. Stop at the railroad tracks and wait for a signal before crossing. B. Look, listen, and prepare to stop at the crossing if necessary. When approaching a railroad crossing, you must look, listen, slow down, and prepare to stop. Let any trains pass before you proceed. This white sign means you should not pass other vehicles. A. Until after you pass the sign. B. Unless it seems safe to do so. C. For any reason. C. For any reason. A white rectangular sign indicates that you must obey the stated rule. This sign means that drivers should not pass other vehicles for any reason. If you are being followed too closely on a two-lane road. A. Reduce your speed slowly to encourage the tailgater to drive around you. B. Speed up to increase the distance between you and the other car. C. Apply your brakes to slow down, then resume your original speed. A. Reduce your speed slowly to encourage the tailgater to drive around you. If you are being followed too closely by another driver, merge into a different lane. If there is no lane available for merging, wait until the road ahead is clear and slowly reduce your speed. This will encourage the tailgater to drive around you. If your vehicle begins to skid, you should A. Ease up on the gas pedal. B. Brake as hard as possible. C. Turn off the ignition. A. Ease up on the gas pedal. If your vehicle begins to skid, release the accelerator or brake pedal to regain vehicle balance. Steer in the direction of the skid to regain control of the vehicle. Which of the following statements about blind spots is true? A. They are eliminated if you have one outside mirror on each side of the vehicle. B. Large trucks have bigger blind spots than most passenger vehicles. C. Blind spots can be checked by looking in your rearview mirrors. B. Large trucks have bigger blind spots than most passenger vehicles. Blind spots are areas that a driver cannot see if they look in their mirrors. Large trucks have large blind spots that drivers of other vehicles should avoid. Which of the following statements is true? A. Driving too slowly is not an unsafe practice. B. Driving too slowly on certain highways can be dangerous. C. The speed at which you drive a vehicle does not affect safety. B. Driving too slowly on certain highways can be dangerous. Driving too slowly can be dangerous because it may cause drivers behind you to become frustrated and make dangerous moves to pass you. It is safest to drive with the flow of traffic, within the legal speed limit. This sign is used to warn drivers about A. Upcoming intersections. B. Road construction. C. Road curves ahead. C. Road curves ahead. Warning signs are usually yellow with black markings. They alert you to conditions that are immediately ahead. This sign is used to warn drivers about an upcoming curve to the right. What is an important step in turning? A. Check traffic in all directions. B. Increase your speed. C. Always move to the left lane. A. Check traffic in all directions. When turning, you should look to the rear and both sides of your vehicle to ensure it is safe to proceed before making the turn. Adjust your speed to safely complete the turn. If a child is about to run into the street, you should A. Start to prepare to slow down. B. Flash your headlights. C. Sound a sharp blast of your horn. C. Sound a sharp blast of your horn. If there is danger, you may need to sound a sharp blast on your horn. Do this when a child or any other pedestrian is about to enter into the street in front of your moving vehicle. This road sign means A. Pedestrian crossing. B. School crossing. C. Jogging trail. A. Pedestrian crossing. Warning signs provide notice to road users of a situation that might not be readily apparent and are usually yellow with black markings. This sign tells drivers to be alert to crossing pedestrians. While in a motor vehicle on a highway, it is A. Illegal to either drink from or possess open containers of alcohol. B. Legal to drink alcohol if you're not driving. C. Legal to drink alcohol if you're driving but not drunk. A. Illegal to either drink from or possess open containers of alcohol. It is illegal to operate a motor vehicle while under the influence of alcohol. Neither drivers nor passengers may possess an open container of alcohol in a motor vehicle while it is in operation. Which of these statements is true about large trucks? A. They take longer to stop than passenger vehicles. B. They all have air brakes that allow them to stop quickly. C. They are more maneuverable than passenger vehicles. A. They take longer to stop than passenger vehicles. Large trucks take longer to stop than other vehicles traveling at the same speed. The average passenger vehicle traveling at 55 miles per hour can stop within 400 feet. However, a large truck traveling at the same speed can take almost 800 feet to stop. If you come to an intersection and your view to the side is blocked, you should A. Slow down and look both ways. B. Maintain your speed and look both ways. C. Stop, then inch forward until you can see clearly in both directions. C. Stop, then inch forward until you can see clearly in both directions. Drivers must slow down when approaching an intersection. If a clear view of cross traffic is obscured, a driver should come to a stop and inch forward until they can see clearly in both directions. If your car becomes disabled while on the highway, you should A. Stop in the right lane. B. Park with all four wheels off the traveled highway, if possible. C. Stop where you are. B. Park with all four wheels off the traveled highway, if possible. If your vehicle becomes disabled, you must, if possible, park with all four wheels off of the main traveled portion of the road. If the driver of an oncoming vehicle fails to dim their headlights, A. Look toward the center of the roadway. B. Look toward the right side of the road. C. Look straight ahead. B. Look toward the right side of the road. If an oncoming driver fails to dim their headlights, look toward the right side of the road. This will keep you from being blinded by the other vehicle's headlights and allow you to see enough of the road to stay on course. Do not try to retaliate by keeping your bright lights on. This sign means A. There is a 35 miles per hour speed zone after the curve ahead. B. Drive no slower than 35 miles per hour around the upcoming curve. C. Approach the upcoming curve at a speed of 35 miles per hour or slower. C. Approach the upcoming curve at a speed of 35 miles per hour or slower. Warning signs are usually yellow with black markings. They alert you to conditions that are immediately ahead. These signs may be accompanied by speed advisory plaques that indicate the speed with which you should proceed. Double solid yellow line markings down the center of a road indicate that passing is A. Allowed from both directions. B. Allowed only from your direction of travel. C. Not allowed from either direction. C. Not allowed from either direction. A double yellow centerline means that it is prohibited for traffic from either direction to cross the centerline to pass. If a truck or bus is making a right turn where you also need to make a right turn, you should A. Quickly turn before the truck or bus is able to. B. Wait until the truck or bus turns before you turn. C. Squeeze between the truck or bus and the curb. B. Wait until the truck or bus turns before you turn. If you try to insert your vehicle between a turning truck or bus and a curb, you may suffer a serious crash. To avoid a collision, do not turn until the truck or bus has completed its turn. This road sign means A. Hospital. B. Upcoming intersection. C. Railroad crossing. B. Upcoming intersection. Warning signs provide notice to road users of a situation that might not be readily apparent and are usually yellow with black markings. This sign warns drivers of an upcoming intersection so they may prepare for potential traffic or prepare to turn. Driving more slowly than surrounding traffic is A. A good idea if the weather is bad. B. Appropriate if you don't know the speed limit. C. Often a hazard because other drivers may become frustrated and try to pass you. C. Often a hazard because other drivers may become frustrated and try to pass you. Driving more slowly than other traffic can be dangerous. Drivers behind you may become impatient and will be tempted to take dangerous risks to pass you. This sign means A. Road construction, maintenance area. B. Side road. C. Railroad ahead. A. Road construction, maintenance area. Diamond-shaped signs are used to warn of actual or possible hazards. The color orange is used for warning signs usually found in construction or maintenance areas. This sign means A. No U-turn. B. Traffic signal ahead. C. Railroad ahead. A. No U-turn. This sign indicates that U-turns are prohibited. Changing from one lane to another is best done. A. Quickly and often. B. When a car is in your blind spot. C. Gradually and carefully. C. Gradually and carefully. You should always change lanes gradually and carefully. Only change lanes when necessary. Every lane change increases the possibility of a traffic accident. This road sign means A. School crossing. B. Pedestrian crossing. C. Jogging trail. B. Pedestrian crossing. Warning signs are usually yellow with black markings. This sign indicates the presence of a crosswalk, regardless of if it is marked on the pavement or not. Upon seeing this sign, you should be alert and allow any pedestrians to cross the road safely. Interstate driving requires drivers to A. Have the ability to safely drive at increased speeds. B. Be constantly alert. C. Both of the above. C. Both of the above. Safe use of the interstate demands drivers be constantly alert and capable of driving at high speeds. A solid yellow line on your side of the centerline means A. Reduce your speed. B. Traffic light ahead. C. Do not pass. C. Do not pass. Solid yellow lines on two-lane roads indicate zones where passing is prohibited. If a solid yellow line appears next to a broken yellow line, drivers in the lane nearest to the solid yellow line may not pass. In some instances, both yellow lines will be solid, indicating that it is not safe to pass from either direction. Hydroplaning occurs when tires ride on a thin film of water instead of on the road. To prevent hydroplaning in wet weather, you should A. Put on your cruise control to maintain a constant speed. B. Slow down. C. Move to the shoulder of the road as soon as it starts to rain. B. Slow down. Hydroplaning is caused by driving too fast on a wet road. Slow down when driving on wet pavement to prevent hydroplaning. You should not make sudden stops in front of large trucks and buses because A. Small vehicle drivers cannot adequately see large trucks and buses in their rear-view mirrors. B. Large trucks and buses, due to their size and weight, require longer distances to stop than smaller passenger vehicles. C. Large trucks and buses travel at a higher speeds than small vehicles. B. Large trucks and buses, due to their size and weight, require longer distances to stop than smaller passenger vehicles. Large vehicles require longer distances to stop and accelerate than smaller vehicles do. Making a sudden stop in front of a large vehicle is dangerous because the other driver may not be able to stop in time to avoid a collision. This sign means A. Yield the right of way. B. No passing zone. C. Reduction in lanes. A. Yield the right of way. A triangular red and white sign indicates that you must yield the right of way. If you come to a railroad crossing with lowered gates and flashing warning lights, you should A. Drive around the crossing gates if you can't see a train. B. Come to a complete stop well behind the gates, wait for the tracks to clear, and proceed once the gates are lifted. C. Slow down and drive around the gates. B. Come to a complete stop well behind the gates, wait for the tracks to clear, and proceed once the gates are lifted. You must stop at a railroad crossing where signs, warning devices, or flaggers warn you of the presence of a train. It is illegal to drive around lowered gates. If the rear of your vehicle is skidding to the left, you should A. Not turn your steering wheel. B. Turn your steering wheel to the left to correct the skid. C. Turn your steering wheel to the right to correct the skid. B. Turn your steering wheel to the left to correct the skid. If you begin to skid on a wet or icy road, take your foot off the accelerator, stay off the brakes, and turn your steering wheel in the direction of the skid. However, if you have anti-lock brakes, you should apply your brakes firmly and steer straight ahead. You may cross double yellow lines to pass another vehicle if the A. Vehicle in front of you moves to the right to let you pass. B. Yellow line next to your side of the road is broken. C. Yellow line next to the opposite side of the road is broken. B. Yellow line next to your side of the road is broken. A broken yellow line in the center of the road indicates that traffic next to the broken yellow line may pass, if it is safe to do so. Use your headlights on rainy, snowy, or foggy days. A. To keep your engine warm. B. So others can see your vehicle. C. To warn others of bad weather conditions. B. So others can see your vehicle. On rainy, snowy, or foggy days, it may be difficult for other drivers to see your vehicle. Under these conditions, headlights make your vehicle easier to see. If the weather requires you to turn on your windshield wipers, you must also turn on your low-beam headlights. There are two traffic lanes moving in your direction. You are driving in the left lane and many vehicles are passing you on the right. If the driver behind you wishes to drive faster, you should A. Stay in your lane so you don't impede the flow of traffic. B. Drive onto the left shoulder to let the other vehicles pass. C. Move into the right lane when it is safe. C. Move into the right lane when it is safe. To drive quickly, pass, or turn left, use the left lane. Use the right lane when driving more slowly than surrounding traffic, entering the road, or turning right.